Okay. It's 9:30. Gonna do a load of laundry. I gotta do a load of laundry. And at the very least, shave my face. I really want to shave my face and my head, but I gotta at the very least shave my face. But first, I need to smoke something. Unfortunately, this light in here has a fan built in, and the fan makes unfortunate squeaking noises. Golly, and there's all these little tiny fruit flies. Not a lot of them, but like even one is annoying. I don't know if this weed is. I forget. I think this is like a. I don't know. It's definitely not sativa. It's either indica or hybrid. I'm not really sure. Maybe it's the weed that's been wearing me down a little bit. I don't know. Well, then again, I am technically bipolar. I was diagnosed with like bipolar, where I have like manic episodes, I guess you could say. And I guess how that relates to this is, I mean, I don't really like suffer from it or have it like crazy episodes or anything, but even on a smaller scale, I think I have like a week or two where I'll be like high energy and, you know, sort of more manic, but not manic, like, you know, sleeping regularly, eating regularly, like, but just sort of more on the higher end of the spectrum when it comes to energy. And then I have weeks like this where I am sort of just like, I feel like I could go to bed and hibernate for like a week. I feel super, super sleepy. I'm human, so I smoke weed. What I mean by that is I'm not home in my intergalactic other dimension where I came from. I'm here on Earth as a flesh and blood human. So I have these desires and cravings and stuff that this filthy body needs. Actually, shouldn't call it filthy. God gives us a wonderful human body that's amazing. But it's got all these like desires, you know, to smoke and sex, drugs, and rock and roll, you know. That's what it's like to be human. It's to feed into this world. I don't like that feeling. I like feeling more connected to God and like a higher being. Because that's what we are. I mean, right? There's got to be more than just flesh and blood and dirt and rocks and trees. Because if there's not, then Are you saying you're the same as that rock? If there is no afterlife and we are just a complete accident, just a lucky rock floating through the sky, and us as humans, you as an individual, is just a complete and utter accident, and there's no deeper meaning to you whatsoever. You were never thought of, or you were absolutely meaningless before you were born, and you become meaningless after you were born. The energy that is you goes nowhere, is nothing, means nothing, and is the same as that rock on the ground over there. That, to me, is what you're saying if you say there is no God or there's no afterlife, and, it's just nothingness. It's just, we're just dirt. It's like saying we're the same as that rock. Now, don't get me wrong, that rock has beauty and purpose and character and all these, beautiful things you could say about it. But I think humans are different. I don't think it has a soul. I don't think that rock has a soul. It doesn't have a mind and thoughts and feelings, and energy. It might even have some sort of energy on a scientific level, I don't know, but not the type of energy that we have. Anyways, I was going to do laundry, so let's do that. We got to get laundry together. Shave. Shut your mouth. No, I didn't. I said anything without evidence. I gotta do this laundry. Here we go. Laundry. Ready? Here we go. Laundry. Because they don't care about the human being. They just want to be this. They're the worst people. Shakespeare's a line. Shakespeare says, "Kill all quotas." You kind of understand why. Some are good. Exactly. Of course, some are good. Some you want. I'm kidding. But these kind of unscrupulous people are. They make you sad for humanity. They're the worst people. So what goes on there? You just drive the stupid case out until. Pretty much. I mean, I'm hoping I get a shot. I'm optimistic about it. I'm going to end up in camp this year and compete for a job. And I do think it will happen. But Boston makes things a little bit harder. But with all the evidence we have, I think the team really feel comfortable with it. It's just about, and also the timing. I mean, the draft just happened. So teams who needed a punter, I mean, they either had one on their roster or they drafted a guy or they signed a guy. So it would have helped if all this happened a month sooner. But I haven't better chance. But the thing that has not is in this year's draft. These free agencies are they're not like that. And all I'm asking for the other teams, just bring him in. See what happens. I dare you. Yeah. He's going to be a sharp cutter. That's all you got to do. Just give him an opportunity. Your job right now is stay sharp, keep practicing. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, look, there's a ton of great guys out there. I'm not going to say that but I just want an opportunity. Yeah. Because that's what I earned. That's what I had to earn through college. That's what I had to earn through performing in preseason. Through, the practices behind closed doors that I proved to the coaching staff maybe want to go with this guy. And I just want that back. And you're getting a lot of the support from different sports pundits and people speaking your name and saying, get this kid shot. Yeah, it feels like, especially last week when everything came out, a lot of people told me about it and asking for me to get another shot. But it's just, NFL GMs, they have
bigger issues than punter usually. I mean, so it's gonna take some time, but I'm okay with it. I'm young. I'm just gonna keep working out, stay ready, and hope the shot comes. And during all this time off, how did you do? Did barefoots? What did you do? No, I didn't. I think you seemed better than I thought. Material, I was expecting to come in, I don't know, right? It's a feels like right. It's a lot of it's like he looked like me. He's out there. I'm like, holy, he's just 56. He's like, I'm just trying to get a shot. I'm like, good luck, man. I age. Yeah, good luck. Yeah, you know, age will work out. Kind of special age. Yeah. But I think Mike Tyson said on his podcast, where you let someone control your emotions during the match. Yeah. So I kind of like that. I like the way he said that. And if I was like that, just walking around depressed every day, it's giving the situation power over me. Yeah. So I can't change the past, but I can kind of control how I act from here on out. Enjoy little things in life, be grateful for what I have, because the truth is, there's people half my age out there that don't know where the next meal's gonna come from. Yeah. So, I, as much as this has sucked, I hope he's grateful. If you're an NFL manager, I'm like this. I have a rollers in Baltimore, shooting heroin, eating out trash cans, prostituting my body. My best friend Ben's like, yo, come up here, do all this. And I would do any stuff that no one wanted to do. Work, and I rushed to the hospital where the doctor gave me a script. It was like justified permission. Are you serious? Please, I'm dying. That's fine. My buddy Ari Shafir has the worst set of headlines.
It gives me the worst anxiety, the bills and the paperwork that pile up on my table. It gives me, like, I've said before, the only time I get anxious or worried is over finances. Like, otherwise I'm pretty happy-go-lucky, pretty positive, I enjoy life, I enjoy the little things, but money, I worry about money. I mean, all this stuff. I got jury duty, I got child support, I got taxes, I got health insurance, this is a good letter. Unclaimed money. I just got to mail this back, and apparently they're going to send me $199. So that was a good. I always get such anxiety checking the mail because it's like never good news. WellSense Health Plan, Massachusetts Department of Revenue, T-Mobile. It's just piles of stuff. And it's just overwhelming. It's like I need a secretary for my life. I'm taking applications. Show. If you want me to endorse your company, give me fucking $1,000. So I have all these deals where I went out. Okay, do I want to wash these shorts? I don't think I need to right now. I think I'm gonna do these. Work pants, work shirts, underwear, socks, apron.
And they're like, yo, you on something? And he's like, yeah, I've been using heroin. And I think that's how it went down. And I was like, shut the fuck up. When you went in, did you know he was using heroin?
It had already been established that he had situations.
Oh, cool.
And the thing
Not
is...
cool, that sounds weird.
But it's yeah, it is what it is. And see, when we would do that, like one of the shows we did got the second highest ratings ever underneath the reunion of the Friends episode for that. And they still play it like fucking crazy.
Really?
But we would stay up and party all night and do blow because like who can make a 5 a.m. call time in New York City?
And is this the whole Viva La Bam crew?
Just Bam and I at this time. And, you know, so I was out of my mind on blow, but I went in there and I, you know, for like my crew, it was always cool if I did blow and drank, like that was socially acceptable.
Yeah.
But the rules that I had to live by was no heroin and no pills. Because if I was on heroin or pills, I'd like fall asleep in mid-sentence. I would like steal your wallet. I would fucking rob your house, wreck your car. So Bam felt that was not a good idea.
Really?
And he kind of made everyone in the circle aware that was not to be offered to me.
Coke and alcohol is it's kind of a weird social norm. Is like a little blow and alcohol makes sense to everyone.
Yeah.
And then the second you take it to the next level, like even a Xanax, with the second you become unusable to the group, it does.
Bird's got a problem. Bird's got a problem.
Well, I've been told I have a problem before. I've been told because of Xanax.
Yeah.
I don't really take Xanax anymore. Although I was planning on taking one tonight.
Fuck yeah, man.
My wife's out of town and I'm by myself and I get anxiety just in my house by myself. So it's like I was taking half a Xanax and fucking sleep. But after sitting talking to you, I was like, in my workout today, I was like, I bet I talked to Novak and I'm like, I'm not taking a Xanax tonight. The blow and alcohol always made sense. It's interesting because I was always told by executives that Knoxville, Steve-O, everyone was on pills.
Yeah.
That was the rush that the reason they could do that is because they're all on fucking the lot.
I wouldn't say that. I would say that we like to have a good time and for perspective to create a narrative. You know, first Jackass was sponsored by Miller High. So of course you can only create but adhere to some boundaries.
Yeah.
What separates you and I?
Yeah, certain things make me sad.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think that, and I don't know the right way to say this, but I can see the sadness in addiction. Yeah, and it can break my heart, and I go through that.
But then I would like leave. I'd go back to Baltimore. I'm living in this big castle, fucking on TV, getting paid, the lavish life, and then in the blink of an eye, because of my addiction, I was kicked out. Back to Baltimore.
I had no soap in my house for laundry, so I used the last little bit of shaving cream I had. Not the shaving cream I need. I don't use shaving cream. I've been using a electric razor to shave, but I used shaving cream for my laundry. Ingenuity or stupidity? Only you can decide.
I said, I want it in bed with me. He said, why? I said, because if I die, I want it to go with me. The moment that boy, like, Bert, you could be the best fucking ping pong player in the world, but God might not see fit to put a pad on your hand.
Yeah.
For whatever the reason is.
I've thought this so many times. I always go like, I really might have missed my window in Olympic diving.
You could.
I never dove in my life.
Speed walking?
Dude, archery?
Bring it on,
archery?
Dude, the sweet little fucking get-ups they wear?
I mean, there's so many things. They should have that as 1 year of schooling as a child. At first grade, we're like, just skip reading altogether and run them through the communist gamut of fucking activities where they go, you are a because they used to do that in East Germany. They just go like, yo, everyone throw a ball. All right, everyone go to the outside of the room. Keep throwing balls. Now, everyone over there, throw a javelin. All right, keep going. Everyone run. And then that's how they pick their Olympic athletes.
I was gonna say, which makes sense as to why all these amazing athletes come out of
Fuck yeah.
all those countries.
So you fell in love with skateboarding at 7?
Yeah, at 7. I fucking hated it.
Okay, next. Talk myself into shaving. But first, I gotta find something to listen to. I can't listen to music because if I plan to post this, it'll get a copyright strike. So unfortunately, I can't play music. Oh, but then again, I don't know if I'm gonna actually. Anyways, yes, it's time to shave. I was gonna say I don't know if I'm gonna actually record myself shaving the whole time. That's a lot of dead air. But I'll tell you, there is nothing better than the theater of the mind.
Everyone that had like stepped apart from the rest of the norm with the style, with the shirt off, fucking rocking these crazy airs. He was a party guy, like, fuck yeah, let's get it running. So I do these tours with them with punk rock and paintbrushes, where we kind of travel and do these pop-up art shows, and I give talks and sell books. And he gives his talk with me, and he talks about, he's donated a lot of money to my houses. I own these sober living houses where I provide free scholarships for anyone in need. Different topic, different conversation. But anyways,
we'll get there. I want to talk about all of them.
Yeah, but he talks about ending up in prison. He's doing, I think, a 13-year bid to find freedom. He had to go to a jail cell in order to find his freedom, and it was the most profound thing.
It's so funny. I've joked. It's probably not something. I make a lot of jokes about recovery and stuff. Like one tour was called the Bern Relapse Tour, and a lot of people got upset by it and triggered them. I was like, I totally get it, but also, I'm just whatever.
It's not that.
But I've joked about my wife about going to rehab so much because I just, and it's not even, I just need a reset. Like I want a reset, like where I don't work. I just go to bed without without getting off my computer. I just want to reset, and it's so funny. I saw today some viral clip of this kid talking shit to a judge. The judge sent him to prison for a year. He goes, send me. And he's like, it's better there than where I'm living right now. And I went, whoa,
that's heavy.
That's because then that kid is probably living in a really dangerous.
No doubt.
And he's like, send me to juvie. I would love to eat solid. I'd love to sleep. I'd love to have a bed to be in.
And at that young age.
Yeah. It was really fucking fascinating. But yeah, that's interesting that Christian said that because there was a lot of dudes. Remember Gator?
Yeah.
Gator
killed.
Is he still in jail?
Yeah, he's never ever.
God damn it.
Yeah. Things got dark and brutal quick.
Well, so what was the brightest period of skateboarding for you as a kid? Like where you go right before it got dark?
For me, I didn't even see it coming. It wasn't like I was aware and had these warning signs of like things are going to get bad. I believed that I was genetically predisposed.
Very beautiful. Speaking of fuse, I think I'm in the middle of one. You're going to have to help me, man. Levy is furious. He's canceling gigs with me.
That's furious.
Yeah, he canceled gigs and big money gigs too.
Wow.
Yeah, I heard that on the wrap-up show. Gary, where is that clip that Artie's referring to?
He called Teddy. He didn't even call me. Right now, he was booked for Pittsburgh and then Detroit and Atlantic City. In Atlantic City and Detroit, he can't. For some reason, he's keeping Pittsburgh.
Must be good money.
That'll be awkward. But both, though, Detroit and Atlantic City, Detroit especially, be big money.
I understand Bob's point. You do take special glee in ripping Bob Levy and hitting him where it hurts.
We have an odd relationship, me and Bob.
There's something going on there.
No, but for being on the road a lot, you start to get that brother mentality where you get vicious with people. And there's this argument, this issue has been going on forever. And I'm being honest with him. I say, look, I don't think you have a good argument in this. The Dave Chappelle joke that he claimed Dave Chappelle on his show ripped off a joke that Bob wrote. And the joke is, I'm so horny when I get home, I'm going to beat my dick like it owes me money. Okay? And so that showed up in a Chappelle show, an episode of the Chappelle show. Levy and me, a few days after it aired, had a gig together, and he goes, yeah, I'm furious with Chappelle. And I'm like, why? I don't know if he's ever met him. I don't know. Why are you furious with him? He goes, well, he's going to hear from me. He stole one of my jokes on his show. And I go, what joke? And he goes, the joke.
Beat your dick,
yeah. And I said, Bob, listen, man, I don't know if you should fight this battle. And he's like, why? What are you talking about? I don't, are you sure you wrote that joke? I said, that sounds like one of those public domain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sounds old.
And then he got, it sounds like, it was at the first ever Friars Club dinner. They were using that. And he's like, no. And I saw he was very defensive about the fact that he wrote that joke. And then I said, well, listen, Bob, I hate to buzz your bubble, but I've heard other people say that before me and you started working together, because me and Levy started working together about when I started here.
Right.
And he goes, well, they stole it from me. And I go, all right. So I could see he was passionate about it.
Yeah,
and
so
I kind of laid off. And then I heard Chappelle, and then Chappelle was going to be a guest on the show. And Levy said he's going to call in. I said, Bob, please don't do that. It's not. You're not going to look great doing that. It can't. Because he goes, no. So I went back and I saw the episode of the Chappelle Show where Chappelle uses it, and it's said by this like puppet who's supposed to be playing like a bad, hacky comedian.
So it's not even like Chappelle's trying to use it in his act.
Chappelle didn't come out and in his stand-up monologue go, "Damn, I'm so horny, I want to beat my dick like a..."
Right.
You mean it was used as an example of a bad comedian?
In the writer's room, they're going, this character, this puppet has to say some of those bad old jokes that hacks use. And I've seen it before. Throw out some of those jokes.
Well, you pointed this out on the wrap-up show.
So, but listen, so it gets even further than that. So I begged Bob. I said, listen, this is not a battle you're going to win. You know what I mean? Just Chappelle's a big star now. You know what I mean?
Right.
So sure enough, he calls in, and I don't know if you guys remember this. Howard, loving a good fight like he should, puts Levy on and gives Levy full fair ground there, And Bob explains the situation, and Chappelle goes, "Oh, so you must be a hack." Which is like, and I'm sitting there like, and I said to Bob, I can't defend you because I happen to agree with him. And so I stayed quiet, and I think he was a little mad I didn't defend him more. But I said, Chappelle's arguing my argument. I'm trying to be honest.
You told him not to do it.
I said, don't do it. And he sort of came off looking bad. All right? So then we don't talk about it anymore. And then we start roasting in here. And the first roast I was on, the Ronnie roast, Bob's the host, and I re-brought it up, with a couple of jokes. And the jokes got good laughs. They were funny. But he wasn't in the roast spirit. He was mad at me for doing that.
Right.
He thinks, I've said countless times, Bob is an amazing comic. He kills. He's funnier than me. He's one of the best comedians I've ever seen on stage. But with that, it's just an issue I have with him. And even in the roast, he didn't get into it. He's like, in the roast, you hit
But maybe, let me take Bob's side for a second.
He thinks it's going to cost him work. He thinks people are going to... And meanwhile, it doesn't.
Well, I don't even know about this. I mean, is he thinking that everybody's hanging on this and saying, yeah, he's just a hack and he...
I think Bob is probably thinking, why does Artie always have to bring this thing up? Why can't he just let it die?
I know. So something on the wrap-up show came up yesterday where there was a similar situation, and I forget what it was, and I used this.
People get I know we know some comedians that were arguing over this one particular joke, and it doesn't come to mind right now.
Oh, Joe Rogan and Carlos Mencia.
Levy. Levy's with Chappelle? Yeah, Levy's with Chappelle. And they were like, it's sort of feasible that they have it. It wasn't.
That was Levy's and Chappelle.
Yeah, there was nothing there.
I don't want to get Bob in an uproar, but...
Right, but I don't think there was anything there. Sometimes people...
Chappelle used the joke in the context of
what's the joke?
Comedian telling a hacky old joke.
What's the joke?
The joke was, I'm going to beat my dick. I'm going to go home and beat my dick like it owes me money. Okay? That's the joke.
Right.
And, again, Bob claims he wrote the joke. I don't think so. I think the joke was written 100 years ago by somebody. But Bob claims he wrote it. And Chappelle used it not in his stand-up act, in the Chappelle show, and the context was some puppet was being an asswipe hack comedian and said the joke. So Levy sees it and thinks he stole from him because, he went to writers were at Caroline's when Levy was performing, and writers from Chappelle's show were there. And it led to this whole big thing. I brought it up in a roast goofing on Levy. And that's how it escalated a little bit.
But the anger between comedians has been around for years. I remember a comedian being in years ago telling me like he left a voicemail on a guy's answering machine. Like if I see you, I'll fucking kill you.
Yeah, look, you're taking somebody's livelihood. I mean, look at that. That's really heartbreaking if someone takes a full 15-minute chunk. And the big thing is Dennis Leary supposedly stole from Bill Hicks. I think that's complete bullshit. I think the only similarity between the two is their attitude and that they smoke.
There was a joke about cigarettes.
Yeah, they're both very funny guys. They had similar attitudes on stage. I don't think Dennis Leary stole anything from Bill Hicks, and I'll say that until I'm off Rescue Me. No, but honestly, before Rescue Me, I had that attitude about it. I said it on the air. I didn't think he ever stole. And I didn't know Dennis before then. The other thing is the Carlos Mencia and not Rogan.
Well, George Lopez.
No. Well, Carlos Mencia, Joe Rogan accused Carlos Mencia of stealing from Louis C.K.
Oh, okay.
And Levy. He also confirmed.
That to me, I haven't examined enough. That might be true, but Joe, I would trust his opinion. But he was passionate about the Leary Hicks thing too.
And he was dead wrong.
I didn't see that at all.
No.
We played it on the air.
We only even examined the Bill Hicks, Dennis Leary thing because Joe Rogan's like, you got to listen to this. Wait till you fucking hear it. It's unbelievable. And we played it. And we were sort of like, I don't know. I'm sort of not seeing that. So when Joe sort of lost a tiny bit of credibility with me on that in that area. Because I think he's quick to jump, but I haven't examined the Carlos Mencia thing either.
And it's not seen as being flattering at all. It's like blatant theft, as you said, Artie, of somebody's livelihood, even though somebody may be a big fan of humor.
If someone comes up to you and says, hey, listen, I was in fucking bumfuck Texas, and they were ornery, man, and I needed to laugh, and it worked in this context, and I said it to get off the stage and get paid, that's fine. It's almost like that's almost a little flattering. You needed to laugh, so I used it. If someone does it, at, say Carnegie Hall or where there's going to be a lot of press on television, God forbid in a special, or just in New York or LA or Chicago in a big market where, because you got to think, in big markets it's fucked up because that comedian could play there the next week and be in front of the same crowd and get shit on.
Well, there's a famous story, and I never know if it's urban legend or not, but it's supposed to be Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall, another comedian sitting around one night. And one of the lesser comedians did a bit, like a rap. And the other comedian, maybe the Eddie Murphy, again, I don't have the names right, but Eddie Murphy goes, well, I'm going on the Tonight Show tomorrow and I'm telling that joke. And once I tell it on Tonight Show, it's mine.
Richard Pryor with the Chinese menu.
Is that right?
I think so, yeah.
But it is. I think Richard Pryor was involved in it. But he said, once I tell that on the Tonight Show, that's my joke. Doesn't matter where you told it. I own it. Because the whole world has seen it.
There's stories. Kinnison had a story of Robin Williams. Robin Williams in the 70s would bail comedians out of jail. And it was really like, why did he do that with so many comics who had problems? And it was because he felt bad about stealing shit. That HBO special he did from the Metropolitan Opera House, supposedly he had to pay off 50 comics, including Gilbert, because he just did the shit. And it was out there for everyone to see Robin Williams doing it. And he never told them.
There was another story where the comics, it got to the point where comics, if they just needed money, they'd walk up to Robin and be like, oh, you did my toothbrush bit. And he was stealing so many bits from so many different guys, he couldn't keep track of it. You'd just pay him right on the spot.
Well, why is it when a cover band does, Springsteen, it's honoring him, and when a cover comedian does it, it's not?
Well, you still know Springsteen.
You could play well, no, but how you could. Springsteen could sing Born to Run a million straight times, and you're going to love it a million straight times. You can't hear the same joke a million straight times. That's the reason. Once people heard a joke, you can't get a laugh out of them again.
Now, speaking of things that you can't stop laughing at, we had the Guess What's...
He brought it up on the wrap-up show again.
I brought it up again, and it's one of those things where
where is Bob? Maybe we should get him on the phone.
Yeah, no, I think we should, because I feel horrible.
Yeah, for him to start turning down money.
But why do you feel it's necessary to keep bringing this up? Because you know you love to torture Bob. You know there's something in you that's angry with Bob.
No, you know what? No, I'm not angry with Bob at all.
There's something
I see Bob as a guy. If I didn't have the luck I've had in my career, I could be a guy going from
like
gig.
Bob?
No, but I'm saying Bob works hard and he goes from gig to gig to make ends meet. And I've been blessed with some good jobs, and I don't have the money issues he has, and I feel I give him gigs whenever I can. Right. And I love working we're the same. We're like brothers in arms in a way. We drink. We like to party.
So why do you always pick this topic up that stabs him in the heart, and you keep going back
when you
to
have a little brother or something, and there's something if you tease him, it's just going to aggravate the fuck out of him.
You do enjoy aggravating.
I do. I enjoy busting his balls. And so much to the point where the day of my roast, I had to call him and console him afterwards because he was upset with shit. And then another issue I think
Let's get Bob on the phone. Gary, are you working on this, or am I?
Well, what is Bob?
Another issue I think he has is the last roast. He claimed that I said something that pissed him off on the air, and he was going to really get me at the roast. And then he claimed that his jokes didn't work because there were people in the audience that liked me too much.
I remember that.
So, he said these guys love Artie to the point where if they see him in person, they're afraid to laugh at him.
So
they
the
weren't
roast,
real.
just voicemails we're getting from Bob.
So the roast, he's going to call back later when we have no time. So the roasts are really causing problems for Bob.
But Bob wants
and he's the roast
roast.
master.
Yeah.
He can't take it.
He's also a great roaster, and he's the one who he pitched the roasts. Look, when you go into this roast thing, man, feelings you're gonna really guys hit low, man. And this room is the worst roasting. Best roasting, but worst roasting.
Right.
As far as hitting low I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
This is crazy shit that gets said in here.
Right.
I mean, crazy stuff.
I agree.
And everybody's skin gets thicker because of it. And it seems to be the one unraveling the most from it is Levy.
That's how you don't understand. He's Mr. I want a roast.
Yeah, and so his argument last time.
You know, wait a second, though. You got to take a little responsibility in this.
Yeah.
You know how to get to Bob.
Yesterday was out of line.
All right, so
And I even thought it was out of line after I said it. I
Okay.
said
Did
that
he
wasn't
call
necessary.
while you
sometimes when you're
were on
doing...
the air yesterday?
He listens all the time, and by the time I got home, I had some shit to do. I got home about 2 o'clock, and Teddy calls me up and goes, listen, Bob is furious. And some used to wrap up show, and I knew exactly what he was talking about. I almost expected this, but Levy didn't even call me, which means he's really mad.
Wow.
And then he says to me, the oddest thing was, Pittsburgh's June 29th. And he goes, he's coming to Pittsburgh, but he's canceling Atlantic City and Detroit. And I go, well, why we got to sit through that awkwardness in Pittsburgh?
Well, he probably feels maybe there's not enough
Too
time
much,
to cancel.
yeah.
And I hate to say it, but there's more than enough time. They
You
got another
can't.
time by.
So will you tell him that when we speak to him?
Of course I will. Listen, here's the thing. When he comes to Pittsburgh, we're going to make up and everything will be fine. And Detroit in particular, that's the Fox Theater. That's 6,000 seats. If we could sell that out, it's a lot of money for Bob. And I refuse to let him not do
Well,
those gigs.
he might not want to. And you're very uncomfortable with people being angry at you.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
And, what is it, Sal?
He called me yesterday. He is fucking steaming
I'm
like
sure
you
he
wouldn't
is.
believe. And I got to admit, I agree with you, Howard. Like, we know you love Levy, but you always give him these cheap digs where he can't defend himself.
Most of the time, it's on a roast day or
That's
in a
right.
roast. Okay, and he's the one who wants these roasts. And they're great. The roasts are fantastic. But on the other side of it, this wrap-up show thing was out of line. I agree with you. It was. But I think when he rethinks it, we'll be fine. I don't want to see him turn down all this money. It's a lot of money.
He called me yesterday. He goes, what are you doing on the 13th? I go, I think I might be doing the Borgata with in AC with Artie and you. He goes, I'm not on it, and you're not on it either.
Oh, he wants you to quit.
Well, I work with Levy. Levy looked out for me.
telling you
No, he didn't tell me that.
That's
He
what it
said,
sounds like you
well,
just
I said I wanted to be on it, and he was like, I'm not on it, and
And what?
And what?
He didn't necessarily like, and you're not on it either, but
He wants you to quit the
no,
gig?
not at all.
You
Not
just
at
said
all.
that.
Whose side
No,
are
but
you
not-
on?
I'm on nobody's
Are
side.
you,
But
are you on Artie's side or Bob's side? Are you
Okay.
going to leave the gig or are you going to stay on the gig?
I'm not on Artie's gig. I was thinking about it. But
Oh,
Levy
I
was
thought
on
you were.
No, Levy was on it. And I wasn't on it. So I said, what are you doing? He goes, well, I canceled it. And he goes, do you want to do a gig in Jersey with me? And I said, yeah, I'll do a gig in Jersey with you. I go, but what the fuck's going on? And he says,
That same night.
yesterday, this happened yesterday after you said
So
all
what
this
I'm
shit.
saying, you're doing a gig with Levy July 13th now, so you can't do the Borgata.
Right, but I never agreed to do the Borgata with you yet. But
Okay.
so Levy called me, goes saying that he wasn't on the Borgata with you. I was thinking about doing it. He said he had another gig, so I said, yeah, I'll do
How
it.
did he get another gig so fast?
Oh, he gets gigs all the time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
A lot
So
of firehouses around right now.
see, that's the thing. I mean, but the thing is, what Bob doesn't understand.
All right. Well, let's see if it can get resolved at some point.
I think every town has a firehouse.
That's right.
The issue Bob has.
Volunteer fire.
Make it work anytime.
They got a oyster clam bake night.
Oh man.
He's gonna be pissed. I
He's
know.
gonna be mad. He's in
His issue is you don't rip Fitzsimmons, you don't rip DePaolo when they're on the show, and Bob Levy is, to me, is
Who's
just as
DePaolo?
funny. Is just as funny, if not funnier, than these guys, and you give him absolutely no
Okay, that's your
comedic
opinion.
respect.
That's your opinion.
No, but well, how would you rate Bob on stage? I mean, honestly.
I think he's a great comedian. I don't think he's as good as Fitzsimmons or Nick DePaolo.
All right, but the thing is that you're friends with all of them equally, yet you always give Levy.
By the way, I don't think I'm as good as Fitzsimmons or Nick DePaolo. You're talking about A-list comics.
I really don't. I don't put myself in their category.
The thing is that if he's in your...
Does Fitzsimmons have a beating the dick joke where...
I don't believe he has one.
No.
See, the guy I heard said beat my dick like it owes me money. It was like a drunken cop, I think.
Well, Levy used to be a police officer.
That is his, you know what? That is his Niagara Falls. That is his Achilles heel.
Okay.
That is his, when you bring up the beating the dick joke that he wrote, and that...
If you know Master Tape Theater, you can find when Chappelle, it's probably the last Chappelle appearance ever. And Dave just said, well, you're a hack then. And that's, I knew he was going to say that. That's what I love you.
You would be funny.
The only way you'd be funny, the only way you'd have a funny bone in your body is if I fucked you. Yeah. Levy show that on a rope. Big rope. And says, now Bells is ripping. And I said, Bob, really? You're going to claim you wrote that one too? And he's like, yeah, I'm telling you I wrote it. And then you go in your head, well, someone had to write these jokes, I guess. But if you went to Belzer, and the only time sort of that shit is allowed and fun, and even Gilbert will say, is that a roast? You know, that's when you can use those jokes. It's fun, you know, these old jokes that Dick Capri uses, you know. And he said, so now I'm going to, next time Belzer's on the show, I'm going to call. I'm like, Bob, please don't do that.
Don't embarrass him.
I can't just say how I'm trying to help him, and he thinks I'm insulting him. So the Chappelle thing, he even got off kind of easy, but if this ever gets into a real debate, and I said, Chappelle's a big star, you know, I said, whatever.
Well, I'm going to let you guys work it out. I'm sure we'll hear from Bob.
You just don't believe that people could be ripping off Bob Levy.
No, I think they can. Listen, on stage, the way he works with the crowd and all that, like, I've never seen somebody better at that.
Well, it's a morning of fights, and I love it. All right, Artie, you'll continue to fight with Bob Levy. Gorillo and Tracy might continue to go at it. Who knows? And Fred is even going at it with me.
Yeah, there's got to be a rebuttal.
I thought we were having fun.
We were.
Can I say one thing, though, Howard? That beat my dick like it owes me money. Yeah, it might be old, but you have to admit, it's a very...
Bob's old.
Yeah, right. Well, that's my point. Bob's been doing this for 20 years. So how old are you now, Artie? 39, right?
Yeah.
So
I've been doing it for 20 years.
He wrote that joke when you were 4.
I started at 19.
Yeah, right. So if you were telling it in the 6th grade, maybe your parents heard Bob Levy doing it at the firehouse.
Sal, you're much more interesting when you're talking about your marriage.
I'm going to see if my parents ever saw Bob Levy.
I think Bob Levy wrote it.
Well, good. John Boy, you're on
All right, well, you keep thinking that.
Go ahead, John Boy, and then I got to take a break quickly.
I'm a little worried about Sal, actually. I think
Why?
maybe he should put in some sessions with his comedy coach, because ever since he's been going to that marriage counselor, he's a big pussy.
I did that Jack and Rod this morning was my favorite Jack and Rod.
I like Jack and Rod.
He hasn't done nothing cool like spit on Richard's cock or...
Now you want that?
He's not gay anymore.
You know, I miss the old days when Richard and Sal would do homosexual acts.
He
All right.
dropped the whole gay thing.
Let's take a break. We'll be back. Guess who's on the phone? And I want to give him a chance to talk. Bob Levy is so pissed at Artie.
Is he on the phone?
Yes. It's about time you woke up, you lazy bastard.
I was hanging out with my son last night, swimming.
We're trying to get
the
you...
kid should go to bed earlier.
You know what? Make a long story short, Artie really knows how to press your buttons, and he always does. And this time he went too far, and I understand you're not going to work with him anymore.
Yeah, no, the whole thing that pisses me off is like, I don't give a fuck. You can fuck with me about anything, but not about the comedy, because I work fucking hard at this. That joke was something that I fucking wrote a while ago. You can ask Florentine, you can ask Norton, who worked with me back then. And for him to comment on something he knows nothing a fuck about, and then fucking say that Chappelle was writing a bit about a hack comedian, which is totally bullshit. That's not what it was. You don't have to open your mouth just because you got to fucking talk all the fucking time.
Bob, have you ever seen the bit that Chappelle did?
Yes, I did. And
what about when you called in and challenged Chappelle on it? What did he say?
Well, he said that his people were in the audience the fucking 3 weeks before that happened.
No, he didn't.
It's the fucking truth. Paul was sitting with them, Artie.
Yeah, but
you weren't at the fucking gig.
So you claim you wrote... Just let me get the joke straight again. It's the joke where I'm going to beat my dick like it owes me money.
Yes.
when did you write that joke?
That joke probably in the late 80s.
Okay.
And I just left it in. I used it as an opening line, just a quick opening line to get the audience right off the bat.
Now, what about the joke that you say Belzer stole, where the only way you'd be funny, the only funny bone you'd ever have in your body is if I fucked you in the end?
That joke was actually given by another comedian to him at a roast that I did already on a roast.
But did you write that joke as well?
I wrote that joke for a Robin roast a long time ago, but at the same time...
You wrote that joke for a Robin roast?
That was a while ago.
So what year did you write that joke?
Whenever the hell that Robin, when the meanest listener was.
So you wrote that joke in 2002-ish or 1-ish?
One. I don't know. That's whenever the roast was.
Here, I think, Artie, let me clarify. I think this is what Bob's point is. You know his sore spot.
No.
And on the wrap-up show, you keep bringing up his sore spot.
I think before...
And you keep calling him a hack comic in a way.
Okay.
Exactly. That's what you said. You said he was making fun of the hack me. So you're calling me...
He was... Chappelle... In that bit, Chappelle was... The character was saying something that a sort of hacky comedian would say.
He was a junkie singing a song about drugs or something like that. It had nothing to do with a hack comedian.
Right. Well, I mean, in other words, it was a guy who wasn't a comic.
You know Bob's weak point. This is his Achilles heel.
But I think before we can get on to what you're talking about, Howard, we have to settle this argument somehow, because he knows I'm always going to think this way. And well, Greg Fitzsimmons, who's another comedian, is sitting here. Greg, do you think Bob wrote either one of those jokes?
There is examples of what they call parallel writing, where two people can have the same concept, but I will say that I remember Joe Rogan, because we started out in Boston together in the, early 90s, saying, I fucked her, she fucked me like she owed me money, but I don't remember the dick thing. But as far as the only funny bone in your body being if I fucked you in the ass, that feels like a joke I've just heard on a lot of roasts.
It's been on the internet as early as 1998.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that. I mean, but I'm not
Bob
saying that
claims
Bob
he wrote it after 2000.
But I could see somebody sitting in a room and
So, okay, fine. Well, let's just agree to disagree with that. First of all, how are we going to... So, we have 3 gigs coming up. You canceled 2 of them. How are we supposed to get through Pittsburgh with you mad at me?
Well, cancel Pittsburgh. I'll fucking stay home with my son.
Why would you do that?
I don't fucking need to.
Now you're being ridiculous. You're being ridiculous.
I don't treat my friends like that. I fucking treat my friends like friends. All right? I don't fuck them over.
Have I not been a good friend to you over the years?
Yeah, and I've been a good friend to you, and I've never fucked you.
Okay, so listen, I'm sorry. I'm apologizing then. I'll apologize for what I think bringing it up yesterday was out of line. I shouldn't have brought it up there.
You know, this has been done for years. This has been over for fucking years. Chappelle, we talked, it was over, and that was it. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think you settled anything with Chappelle.
I'm a hack comedian.
Do you think it's because Artie has said it? He said it as early as this morning. Artie said, you know, if it wasn't for a couple of breaks that I got, I could end up being Bob Levy.
No.
You know what? It ain't too fucking bad being me, okay?
No, Bob. I didn't say it's so bad. I'm saying that, you know, he's a guy who, you know, has to work and get gigs and you know, I could turn down gigs now because I've been lucky. And I'm saying I could easily have had that happen to me. I got a couple of good breaks. That's all.
It could have easily happened to you that you'd be Bob Levy?
No, it could have happened to me where I have bigger money issues in my life. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't have any issues. I'm fucking happy with. That's all that fucking matters.
All right.
I don't give a fuck.
Fine. That wasn't meant to be an insult. But I apologize for what I said yesterday. It was out of line on the wrap-up show. I'm being dead serious.
Artie, you did say there are plenty of firehouses where Bob can perform, but he doesn't work.
I was trying to be funny. But clearly, look, the king of the roast here clearly is sensitive. I mean, you know.
Isn't it a little weird, Artie?
It's like I
why
never
is Bob so
anybody
upset?
about comedy. I fucking help people all the fucking time. I work with 5 fucking guys every weekend because we're friends and we want to keep something together. And I don't fucking go out there and try to fucking throw them under a fucking bus.
Bob, does it upset you that Artie said as early as this morning that you are nowhere near the level of Greg Fitzsimmons?
I said I think Greg and Nick are funnier than me and Bob. I said they're better comics as far as I'm concerned than myself.
I know I do my job, and that's all that matters. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, no, that doesn't mean anything. I mean, Greg and Nick are A-list guys. That's me being truthful, and me and you could go together on the B-list tour and make money.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, look, you put people after me, let's see how good they are.
Right. You kill. Listen, you kill on stage. I've never, and it is very, even though I'm on the show, it's very hard to follow you.
What's going to be, Artie? I see that Bob has had it with you, and I don't see him accepting
think that's true at all.
He's not accepting your apology.
No, I
didn't hear him.
He's canceling gigs, Artie.
Are you canceling Pittsburgh as well, Bob?
I mean, if it comes down to it, I'll cancel it because the other 2 I've definitely canceled.
Well, Bob, how are we supposed to
Maybe you look
it's a
down
little
on
odd
him
to
because
me
he
that,
does that hacky blue cheese bit you don't like.
Again, I'm sure Bob wrote that. That I know he wrote.
You know he wrote the blue cheese.
Eating blue cheese out of a
Do you
chick's
think
ass.
Chappelle might steal that?
Maybe if he eats watermelon. No, I'm kidding.
No. See, here's the other thing about Levy. Here's the other thing about Levy. I did him a favor, and well, you know what? I'm not even going to go there.
What is the favor?
No,
go ahead.
I'm not going to go there.
No. Go ahead.
I'm not going to go there.
He wants to hear. You want to hear this, Bob?
No, I don't.
I don't care, man.
He doesn't want to hear it.
What favor did you do him? You mean you did him a favor booking him, is what you're saying?
No. Bob and me have always done business together. We've made each other money. I think Bob is dumb for canceling these gigs because I love him and I want him on the gigs. And I do a better show when Bob's there. The fans love him. And I think canceling these gigs is not something I want, Bob, and I don't think deep down you want it. I think you're mad right now, and I'm apologizing.
I didn't want to, but I don't like to fucking be treated. Well, you can fucking do.
So listen, are you making rules for the roast now, by the way? Because I know you were mad at after I made a joke about this on a roast. Now, Mr. Roastmaster here, can I not talk about your comedy? We talk about each other's comedy.
Yeah, Bob, can I give you a list of stuff I don't want you to talk about me?
I don't give a fuck about that. It's when like something came up, you like all you had to do is say, "Oh yeah, that happened." You don't have to say, "Oh yeah, don't get me started on that." Like it's the fucking biggest thing in the world. It's not.
You were pissed off, Bob. You called a bunch of people afterwards. You were pretty upset.
No, he's admitting that. He's saying he's upset, and look, it was a dumb thing to say.
Gary, you're a fucking genius too.
I'm just telling you how it went.
What did he say? I know how it went.
I'm not piling on you. I'm just telling you. Hey, can I ask Artie a question? Because I'm listening to you.
The bit that Levy has where he can't spell, I mean, like, that's a great bit that he wrote.
But Artie, I want to ask you a question, and be honest about this. It doesn't sound like you're being totally honest. When you say you could have been like Bob, but you caught a couple of breaks, do you really believe that, or do you think that you've done better because A, you're funnier, and B, you might have a different work ethic?
No. I believe he has a fantastic work ethic. That I know for sure. I'm saying I have gotten very lucky in my career.
But is that luck?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is. Absolutely. Without question, a lot of it's luck. I think Levy is a great stand-up
Are
guy.
you buying this, Howard? No. Yeah, I agree. I think you're being really nice.
I
You
said
may
with a
be
couple.
telling the truth, but nobody believes it.
Right.
Well,
you didn't get lucky. You're a funny guy. I'm not saying Bob's not funny. Bob's a really funny guy. Bob
I am the captain of the Italy team in the World Cup of Comedy right now in shooting.
It's true.
But
Can't argue with that.
No, you know what, Guy? You're looking too far into it. Bob is a very talented. Well, the first time I saw.
Bob, do you accept Artie's apology, or are you not? Are you sticking to your guns and not doing the shows?
No, I booked all of the shows.
Ooh. Oh, come on, Bob.
In the same town, the same night.
Now you're being ridiculous. Look,
I don't. It feels like I can't fucking trust somebody. I don't like to fucking be around somebody like that. You know what I mean? I don't fucking do that to people.
I'm sorry then. Because I've seen Bob kill so hard that people are barreled over laughing and they actually hit their head on the hose of the truck.
What truck is that? Do it, Artie. In 5 years, you'll be fucking playing them.
No, I won't. I'll be dead in 5 years. Now, come on, you know that.
Bob, what would it take from Artie to get you back on those shows? What would he have to do?
Who's that, Steve the intern?
No, Greg Fitzsimmons.
It's Greg, the guy with the show. I'm serious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm my own intern.
I need a fucking break. I want to do my own fucking thing with Sal and the boys.
Sal and the boys.
Sounds like Bob's really upset with you.
Listen,
I hear him crying.
Bob, I think you're being ridiculous now. If you rethink this, you'll want to look. Detroit is going to be a big payday for us. Come on, you don't want to do that. Come on.
I don't
I
know.
thought your kid was at school.
No, he's home.
Oh.
He's done with school. He came upstairs.
Bob doesn't want his kid to grow up being a better speller than him. He's keeping him home.
True. I'm keeping him home.
This proves a lot about Levy. I fucked with his kid in the roast, and he doesn't give a fuck. It's about his comedy.
No.
And it's only 2 jokes. I brought up 2 fucking jokes you used. The rest of your act is fantastic.
No, but listen to me. That is something. If somebody takes from you, they're taking from you. Okay, you got to stand behind. If somebody takes from you, and you have to fight it.
Well, I think Bob is making it clear he is not making up.
I would love to pull the fight he had with Chappelle on the air.
Well, he is
first
not.
of all, Levy
Forget that. He is not making
recoiled
up.
a lot when he got on the air with him.
Artie.
Oh, yeah, because I'm arguing on the phone because I wasn't allowed to come in and go face to face with him. You know what I mean?
You weren't allowed to. I didn't know that. I didn't know you were allowed.
Because he was.
But do you remember what Chappelle said? Remember when you said I wrote that joke? You remember what Chappelle said? He said, "Oh, then you must be a hack."
Artie, I don't think I'm arguing with someone.
Listen, guys, I'm sorry.